Hi, well, welcome back. So this one is a vinyls pickup video. It'll be number 9, I think, in the series of them. I'll include them in the pickups, playlist, just like normal. So let's get straight into a couple of vinyls I picked up. There haven't been a ton of them since the last time around, but I'll show you what I have picked up. So first of all, Tragically Hip, Man Machine Poem. So this one is kind of an interesting thing. This is the latest from the Tragically Hip. As you may or may not know, the lead singer unfortunately has cancer, and it is the very serious, non-operable kind. So this may very well be the last Tragically Hip album. It stands to be seen, but it was an appropriate thing to pick it up. So I'll show you. It is a gatefold, and inside it does seem to be, it gives you the look. Let me see if I can get the whole thing in the shot. Yep. So basically it looks like, a lot of this looks like, handwritten is basically the motif they're going for. Even on the back, where you're looking at the name and everything, it's to follow that hand-written motif. Now if I pull this out, it follows a lot. It's along the same lines. So you can see all the, various people involved in it, everything seemingly written by hand and printed onto the sleeve. The record itself is actually a white vinyl, which I think is the only white vinyl I have, if memory serves me. An interesting one. I've had the chance to give it about 1 or 2 listen-throughs. It's definitely distinctively Tragically Hip, but at the same time, it's one of those things where if you've heard a lot of their stuff, so it doesn't really tread any new ground, not surprisingly. It's still alright, but it's one of those things where I'm going to have to listen to it again to see if it really grows on me. So the next album I have is by The National, and it is Trouble Will Find Me. So I actually really like the cover. It's kind of an interesting photo they used on that one. Pretty straightforward, very Spartan. It is a gatefold, and you can see inside we've got some art. Kind of nice. Make sure I've got the whole thing in there. Yep, perfect. Alright. So I already have had the chance. I've been listening to this album for a while, so I'm really a big fan of it. I caught on to The National a little while ago, and I've enjoyed their stuff. I believe this is on just, got a nice little, picture again, and you've got all the lyrics on the sheet. I believe it's just another black vinyl, a heavy-duty black vinyl. Yep. And it does have the picture on the vinyl as well. So I'm a big fan of this album, and also Boxer, as well as one other one that escapes me right now. I'll put it on the screen somewhere, or show the album cover once it comes back to me. So the next one here is another one in the series of those video game soundtrack vinyls from Data East, I believe. This one is one of a personal favorite as well, Streets of Rage 2. So very much like the other ones in their collection, when you buy them, it is a very nice premium kind of product, because in addition to that lovely art, and I'll show you actually the gatefold so you can see it. There we go. So in addition to the beautiful art, of which there's plenty of here, it also comes with little posters, and so I'll show you one of them just so you can get the idea. There you go. Comes with a print. Based on, this was actually, this was actually the one that was used in the cover of the video game. And then the vinyls themselves, this should be one of the editions. Yes, so the smoky kind of gray see-through vinyl. So actually really nice. Again, super cool product. Data East really does a great job with these, and I very much enjoy it. The music on these really is great. And it does kind of remind you back to what the games were like at that time. I really wish they would make another Streets of Rage game. I would love to play it. So next one here is by the band Baroness. Now I want to show you the cover. Well, let me show you the back first. So you can see it's very nice. This is Baroness. It's purple. Now, I really don't know what YouTube's policy is about this, but let me try. There we go. I'll try to show you the cover. So it is very well done. It's very artistic. But yeah, I couldn't just show it to you that way. I will show you the inside cover as well. So there you go. Again, very arty. And they're definitely going with the purple theme all the way through and through. And I believe, memory serves, so this one here has got more art inside. Very nice. You can see. And then I don't remember if there's any color in this vinyl. It would be appropriate, but I don't recall. No, I think it is black vinyl. But still, very nice overall package and presentation. Great music. I enjoyed listening to the band stuff. So it was just the one that I definitely had to add to my collection. So last but certainly not least, one of my favorite bands of all time, and when they were re-releasing some of their original albums on vinyl, I had to try to get my hands on them. So I'll kind of rapid fire through these. So first one, I'll show it on the screen. I've actually got it in a frame right now downstairs, but it is Last of the Ghetto Astronauts by the Matthew Good Band. So that was one I definitely had to get. That was their first, kind of commercially released album. So I had to get that one for sure. I also picked up this one. So again, Matthew Good Band. This is Underdogs. It's still sealed in the shrink wrap, but I've got the CDs for these for years, and it was definitely one I had to add to my collection. Along the same lines, again, one of the ones that had to be added, Beautiful Midnight by the Matthew Good Band. So this is probably fighting with The Audio of Being as one of my favorite from their entire catalog. So it usually goes back and forth, but those are generally the two that are my favorites. And lastly, for Matthew Good himself, for after he went solo, this is his latest release. It is Chaotic Neutral. So very straightforward, relatively inexpensive packaging. It is nice though that they had it on vinyl, and very important for me. So it is a plain black vinyl, but very important for me as well. They did include the CD, which is a wonderful thing that I wish more of them would include. So my indicator on my camera is telling me that I'm just about out of battery, so I'm going to try to wrap it up real quick. So those are the latest vinyl pickups. Again, not too many, but a lot of old favorites and new favorites, and ones that I've enjoyed in between. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you've heard any of these or have any thoughts or opinions on them, I'd certainly love to hear them, and I'll try to reply the best I can. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.